September 2nd. I can't believe. September 2nd. It's 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside. What would that be? Like probably 17 or 18 degrees Celsius outside. Kind of cool-ish here. And it's kind of a cloudy day. I don't know if I like it. I think it's gonna rain today, so it's gonna be rainy later. Way too soon for this. Way too soon for this. Hope y'all are having a great day. If you're watching this later, let me know what you're up to. It's your first day of back at work, school, and all of those things. Hope everything is going well. Let's see. Hold on a second here. What do I want to see? Oh, nope, not that. And I am wearing, I'm wearing, what am I wearing? I'm wearing the Mitra-et-le-Parfum Dubai. It's kind of like, for me, it's a guilty pleasure because it's kind of smells like Baccarat Rouge 540, but it's added a little bit of a, like there's, if you take out the, you know, the part that people don't like a used Band-Aid. Hi Gian, how are you? And if you add like a little bit of dates, like just sweet dates, but not too sweet, that's really, really nice. So Comtesse de Parfum Dubai, they have other ones, and I like the aesthetic of the bottles too. Like this one has a beautiful cap. There is, I think there's like Shanghai, there's all sort of different ones. This Dubai one has an X-straight, but it's only available in Harrods. That's a Harrods exclusive, and I don't even know if they still have it, the Harrods exclusive. So anyways, I am wearing my guilty pleasure this weekend. I have not been very good in terms of purchases. And I will blame my sample set. Oh my god, guys, I've been doing some workout, like trying to do upper body workout. Oh my trainer has killed me. Like for the first time ever, like and I was reaching back out and I was like, what is that? And that's a lat muscle. I'm trying to where am I going? I'm at work. I just like my debrief before getting to work. In a parking lot at work, I usually do a debrief with my life before I psych myself up to go to work. So that's what I'm doing. I usually do my streams actually, like during the year, like my streams are generally early in the morning. You bought 8 frags this weekend, Gian? What did you buy? What did you buy? 8? 8? Like, what did you get? Like, that's a lot of fragrances. I mean, okay, let me see what damage I have done. Oh. Y'all, if you, I ended up buying, I have a smelled Apom, I think it's a masculine one, Apom Pour Homme from Francis Kurkdjian, like the old version, with the kind of that brass cap or whatever that is. Hi, Pearly. And I really like that one, but I was browsing to see if I can find that one. Took advantage of Labor Day sales, and of course, that's how they get us. The horrible part is I didn't even get an advantage of any sort of sales. I just like, maybe for one, I used my points. I can't remember what else I did. So anyways, I ended up, when I was looking for Apom, I saw Apom Femme, like pour Femme, which I think it is discontinued, Apom pour Femme, in stock on Fragbuy. And I was like, let me grab that. So I bought that one. And then I also ordered the new Apom from the Nose in Paris. I also ordered something else from Nose, and I can't remember what it was. Oh. I end up, like, I've been looking for Costume National Soul ever since, you know, I've tried a sample. And it never comes into, you know, discounters. I ended up picking up from the Nose Paris. So 1, 2, 3, and then I ended up getting after trying the Jardin Retouré sample sets, I ended up buying a Oriental Souci or Oriental Sans Souci or whatever that is, that one. I ended up picking up a bottle of that. I asked them for the Immortelle sample that to come with it, but apparently they don't have the sample of Immortelle yet. Virgin Island water, Platine Blanc, tobacco color, Layton exclusive Mercedes-Benz incense. What the fuck is this? Oh, let me see if oh, Pearly. Just take a look at it. Mercedes-Benz Intense Appletini, Good Girl EDP, and Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton from Zara? What is Louis Vuitton from Zara? Is there such thing? Oh yeah, wait. I think you're just pulling my leg because there's no Louis Vuitton. I don't ask about how much I spend. I haven't looked. Yes, me neither. So Virgin Island water. Yes, I had a bottle of that. I sold it. It's just coconut is not my thing, so that's whatever. I don't know what Platine Blanc is. Tobacco color. I have a bottle, and it's all right. I'm gonna have to try it again this winter and see what that's about. Layton exclusive. I don't think I've ever smelled Layton exclusive. Mercedes-Benz Intense. So what's the difference between Mercedes-Benz regular and Mercedes-Benz Intense? Because I had the regular. Appletini, I don't know what that is. Good Girl EDP. I've smelled Good Girl. Louis Vuitton, I don't know what that is. Apom Homme is great. It's on my list. Yeah, Apom Homme is really nice. I tried it from. It's not like. Oh god, I tried the vintage version, and it's not like something mind-blowing or whatnot, but it's so good. It's in what it is. It's like beautiful orange blossom, and with just right enough amount of sweetness. It's Bluey Frag from Zara, but people started calling it Blue. Oh, why? Does it smell like imagination? That's the only blue frag that Louis Vuitton has, right? Is it? I think. Zara has not some bad ones. The Intense is more like Fahrenheit Parfum. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, Mercedes-Benz is okay, but I mean, it's okay for the price that you get. I mean, I think it's an alright price for the fragrance. Like, it's a vanilla, right? Like, if I remember, I used to have it long time ago when the hype came, and I don't remember how long ago was that, but then I ended up selling him. I still have to try. There are so many of my fragrances that I'm looking forward to try, because most of my frag collection are kind of like winter, fall oriented. I don't know, but it was $22, so I was like, why not? That's how they get us, right? It's like, why not? Oh, let's see. Let me get that. I know I used some of my points, I guess, and some discount code with a fragrance buy to get the FAM one, because the FAM one has also a nice kind of, sounds like there's some good reviews of the FAM ones. I thought I was offered a really rare bottle of Guerlain for €850 this weekend, and I was like, oh, since I've been doing good with that, let me just spend the money elsewhere. I said no to it. Also, I ended up picking up a Shalimar Essence, another bottle. Like, I have the Shalimar Essence, the new one, but another bottle at a discounted price. And a couple more samples of the new FAM releases, whatever that is, the Libre Vanilla Couture, and what is the other one? La Vie est Belle Vanilla Nude. Hi, Evanlicht, how are you? I also had Dior Homme Parfum 2025 delivered on Sunday. And what do you think of it, Gian? What do you think of that one? It wasn't my favorite at all, to be honest. I rather, to be honest, from that line, I don't like Dior Homme Parfum itself isn't my favorite either. So like from that line, Dior Homme Intense is the one that I would wear and I like. I have 2 bottles of the old version of Dior Homme Parfum, and not the original whatever ml is that, but the next version. So I'm gonna have to try that over the coming winter, and if I don't want it, then I'll get rid of them. now would be the time. We shall see if we can figure out the shipping stuff. It's gonna be hard with shipping all over the place, and market in Canada is kind of less dead in terms of fragrances since like 2021. So I may have to curb my spendings, even though my usually I have like fun money, like it, because the collection got to the point that I would sell enough that I would have money to play with and just buy from that money that I sold. So it was not like I was pulling from my own account. So, but right now, since the sales gonna tank, because probably 80% of my sales were to US, or like 90% with this shipping thing, I will have to curb my spendings. I like it. It's more wearable. It's I have every version now: cologne, regular, intense, and parfum. Oh, nice. But did you have the parfum from the like before, like 2025? Um, what was I going to talk about? I am interested in getting a sample set of Day to Day fragrances. I know it's all over the place. I actually, Michael Paul, I've known of him because, you know, there's a, you know, group chat of in certain groups, Facebook group, and that's how I actually knew about him. But then I've seen the brand and Scent Explore, and yesterday I was in a live with the like a fragrance dudes live, and he had Michael Paul, the perfumer, because they do, like, I think he has had a few live with him, and he was doing a sample giveaway. Oh, the funniest part, y'all. So the fragrance dude has like 2 sample sets to give away, and he, you know, he enters the names, like it says who wants to be in, like you put your name in, and then there's like, okay, so he puts the names in the wheel of names, or that app. I've used it before, and I, I may have had a lag a little bit on my video, but before even he turned the wheels, and like he shared the screen, and before he hit the, you know, the wheel to run, um, I was just trolling, and I said, oh, thanks everyone for participating, I won. And then I kind of like distracted. I was distracted for a minute, and then I came back and I see everyone says congratulations, Mitra, congratulations, or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, everyone bought my trolling. But then I realized I did actually win. So I predicted like 30 seconds before he turned the wheel that I won that. I think I was getting, what was I was thinking of selling more stuff, but I'm not sure I want to deal with the shit show. Yeah, I know, it's just gonna, I'm gonna let ride the shit show for a bit until they know what they want to do, or maybe nature takes its course and eliminates the source of all these problems. Then we won't have to deal with it. Troll yourself to win it. I know, right? It's like manifestations work. I could not believe it, and it was just like, I was there, and you know, I just said, it's like, oh, congratulations everyone, I won. And then like 30 seconds later, like, totally trolling, and everyone's like, congratulations. I'm like, what? It was funny. It was funny. And I usually don't have a great luck in these things, like you know, like draws or whatever, but it was fun. Hi Sandra, how are you? How's your day going? How is Sandra? What is your scent of today, guys? Please like the stream, and let me know what you're wearing today. I'm trying to manifest a couple $1 billion. What would you do with couple $1 billion, Gian? That's my, like, it's a hard, I need to sell a lot of stuff too, but I cannot cope with the shit show. The low baller, oh my God, the low ballers, oh my God. I actually posted, like, Scent of the Day, Dresden Autumn by Frederick Mal. Ooh, very nice, very, very nice. What do you think of it, Affenlicht? That's a beautiful one. Hi Nina, how are you? Yeah, so they selling, like, to be honest, I am a little bit exhausted of, like, so I have been involved in Fredcom, and like in like, so for the first year, for like 2020 to 2021, I was just like an observant, right? I was the casual users of the Facebook groups. I didn't even, I knew about YouTube, but I didn't know you could go on a live on YouTube and comment. Like, I didn't even know about that option. Most of the time I didn't catch anyone live like that. I was just listening on the fly or whatever. And then since 2021, I have been involved in Fragcom, like I started like moderating some groups, and then I had my own group. Then I had my Instagram. Then I really got into just like knowing people in Fragcom and things like that. And I think this is time for me to take a break from things and just a little bit stay away. Um, because when you are in some sort of capacity in terms of like the moderation and stuff, it's all you hear is the problems, and you have too much exposure, and I think that jades you over time. So I've decided to step back a little bit, and I did my last sales post, but they weren't my bottles. Like I sold them for a friend. So, but after that, I may even just kind of like delete my some of the social media apps from my phone, and just do YouTube when I want it, how I want it, and be well with that. So, um, so I don't like, yes, what I do not miss about selling is the kind of, even though like like people, now I have a reputation in like Facebook and stuff, so people know me for a while. I do not, I'm not disrespectful, but I'm not bargaining or negotiating. I don't give in usually, to those things. I don't entertain those offers. Like someone would say, like, would you do for $50 less? I would be just no, that's the answer. I'm not gonna entertain. I'm not gonna go back and forth. So people know me for that. So I don't get as much lowballing, but still I know that happens a lot. especially like Especially, I feel like it happens when people are selling, like, it's funny enough, when they are selling something like for $100, like rather than like a fragrance that you're selling for like $400, like I think that happens less, but I know it happens. And then it's just the back and forth and the kind of the process of the shipping and all this stress that I really don't need in my life, like to be dealing with, because I don't do this for money really. Anything that I'm selling, generally I'm losing money on. It's just that, and it just keeps my hobby going, like gives put some money in my pocket to buy something else or try something else. Anyways, that's a tangent. Hello, I'm wearing no scent of today actually. Oh no. Well, I mean, sometimes we need that, right? Like you don't have to have a scent of today every day. Probably travel around the world for a couple of years. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I would travel too. I would travel too to these places that I haven't and I've hesitated, so that would be nice. Often this says really interesting spicy sandalwood. So he's talking about Frederick Malle, Dries Van Noten. Kind of smoky and leathery too. Leathery? Oh, really? So different from other Frederick Malles. Yes, yes, absolutely. But this is more in line of really Dries Van Noten fragrances, even though the Dries Van Noten fragrances weren't in production back then, but this is more in line with that ideology than Frederick Malle, really, when you compare it. Um, Often Leo refuses to give up his bottle. I used to love Dries Van Noten, had so many backups, but I ended up finding it too potent. Really? Interesting. It doesn't come across to me like that. That makes sense. It can get too much, and sometimes the energy is spent better elsewhere. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just, and also I feel like I'm not really cut out for virtual world, to be honest. Maybe my twin brother's right. Maybe I am also autistic. I'm not really cut out for this world. It's just that I treat people the same way in virtual world than in my actual life, like in terms of friends, in terms of how, you know, I am upright like that. I don't have the diplomacy to be in virtual world sometimes, and I feel like I'm not cut out for it, and that is not the virtual world's problem. It is, I just realized it's my problem. And if I am not cut out for an environment, then I'll take myself out of the environment. I think that's the kind of solution to it, or limit, right? Like, I mean, of course it's kind of hard to completely take yourself out these days because a lot of things just going on social media, but just in that kind of degree of involvement. Sanderby, it's so oily, doesn't seem to project a ton, but remains stuck to my skin. Oh, interesting. Affenlicht, I used to project it used to project a lot on my skin. I remember wearing it during a work meeting. My scent took over the room. That's funny, eh? That's probably like the skin chemistry, right? Some, with a lot of civet scents. I am very much like that. That everyone can smell is stinky civet. But sometimes with other fragrances aren't like that. So some probably the skin chemistry is being different has something to do with that. Maybe it's too cold today, as well. Yeah. Well, funny enough, like I always thought, like really potent fragrances, like really strong fragrances, amber and stuff, they would be too much for hot weather, until I went to Florida, and it seemed like, I don't know if it is heat or humidity that made the fragrance go away so much faster than it would be here. So like Santa Maria Novella, Ambra, that one has a good projection sillage and stuff like that. And I put it on there, and I thinking that this is going to be way too much for this heat or whatnot. And swear to God, like a couple of hours later, I could barely smell it. But like here, when I put it on, it lasts me all day. Like, so I don't know if there's the humidity, heat, or whatever that's playing into it. So there's that too. Maybe that kind of explains also that why in like Middle Eastern countries they wear oud in that like heat, right? Like in 50 degrees outside. So there is that. So today is kind of first day of school for some people. I think in US most people have gone back to work, but in Canada this week is first day of school. I see, funny enough, like I see some back to school scents, which is kind of cute in some ways. Videos like on YouTube about what fragrances you wear on your first day of school, which is cute. But also funny because like that's the last thing I thought about when I was going back to like grade school. Weather changes things a lot. Can also smell better when my nose isn't dried out from the air. Exactly. In France, back to school was yesterday. Oh, really? Oh, you guys don't have Labor Day? Like, I guess Labor Day, maybe it's a US thing. Kuros best back to schools. Back home, traditionally in Iran, the time of the year that you buy new clothes, um, like are before the New Year's, so that would be March, and mid-March. The March 21st is usually first day of the spring equinox, and the first day of spring in Iran is first day of the month is also Farvardin. It's the first day of the month in Iran. It's how year starts. So before that, like a week or 2 weeks before that, you go clothes shopping. You buy all the new clothes or whatever for the next, I guess 6 months, and then there is September. September 21st is what is it? September 21st is the first day of fall, right? And that would be first day of Shahrivar, which is the season changes in Iran, and then that's first day of the month, and that's where school starts. And before school, you go buy, your school clothes and whatever. And that's those 2 times a year that you're really clothes shopping. Like clothes shopping in other times of the year is kind of like fancy, seeing as fancy, or like more wealthy families buy clothes like all over the time or all over the place. I mean, babies are excluded because they grow up so fast. But this time of year, it's very. I always keep thinking of the smell of pencil shaving, because you get like, there wasn't like school supplies that it is these days. And there's a lot of like notebooks are used in Iran, and we have a lot of homeworks like to bring home and write our homework. It's not like the schools here. I don't know what the schools are these days, but you would get like 10 or 12 notebooks. You would get a pack of pens and pencils, and the erasers. You'd get all these new things, and then you would also use school books, like your workbooks. Your school would give you a voucher, and you would pick them up from like store, and then we would wrap the books, because they would come in paper, like not a hardcover. So we would wrap them in this kind of a certain kind of it's almost like a, and not it's like we would wrap them with this sheer wrapping, like so the cover would not get damaged or anything. And there was all sort of fancy these wrappers, and there was the excitement of that doing for all of our books, like 10, 12 books that we had. It's yeah. I kind of like the smell of pencil shaving. Maybe that's why I enjoy. Yes, yes, absolutely. I love the smell of pencil shaving. Even the the association with those erasers that I can, just like I can close my eyes and I can smell. So there was two parts to those erasers. I don't know if you guys ever had those erasers. The one side was to erase the pen, and another side was to erase the pencil writing. And the pen writing, the pen erasing side had a little bit sharper smell to the other side. These are kind of like engraved in my mind. Like I could just close my eyes and I'm just there and I can smell it. Like that. Um, did you have different color wrappings for different subjects? No, it was just like our choice. Like you could just like not cover your books if you wanted, but they would just get wrecked, right? Like because you would be bringing them to school every day. So that's another part. Like we would just pack our backpacks. We would have like 3 to 5 subjects a day, right? 5 was in high school, 3 was in primary school, and you have the books and the notebooks associated with them, plus your lunch and whatever that you're gonna take. So we were like these heavy backpacks we used to take to school and back, and it was more kind of fashionable if you had the backpack on one shoulder, not both. So I remember like my right shoulder would always be sore. Um, uh, like here for our folders, I would always use blue for math, yellow for English, red for German, and green for history. Oh, that's interesting. No, it was just like it was just like your choice, but it was not, they were the regular, like just the simple ones. There was like this one had like a texture of that. It was sheer still, but it had the texture. Some of them were colored, some of them had, there's all sort of stuff that would go with it, and all of that is now like irrelevant, right? Like I keep thinking how my schooling was different than my kids' schooling. And anyways, so September 21st, is like first day of fall, and it's like the mornings have changed already in back then anyways. You get out, the air is very crisp where I would come out, and there's that kind of like, it's it's not smell of fire, but there's like a woody smell in the air. Maybe the dried leaves that have kind of like powdered a little bit, that kind of smell. And and then all this kind of, everything is new, right? Like your books are new, your pens are new, everything is new, your clothes are new. um and then there's this kind of excitement, but also the anxiety about going back to school. I never liked school, to be honest, never ever, even though I've spent majority of my life in school. But I never liked the school. And it's just such a interesting time of the year. But by noon it warms up enough that you're kind of warm. You don't need to wear that thin jacket that you were wearing in the morning. All these smells of September that I absolutely love. My favorite city to be in fall is Ottawa, actually. Ottawa is what's absolutely beautiful. Like the transition is so smooth from the winter to from the summer to fall, and there's a lot of walking paths and stuff like that, and absolutely turns gorgeous here. So there is that, me down the memory lane. And then my kids go to school. I can't believe my oldest is going to be in grade 3 this year, serious grades. Is there anything that comes close to these autumn days smell for you? Yeah, so let me think. Funny enough that I think this whole kind of maybe conscious or unconscious, we're talking about this Frederick Mal's Dries Van Noten. That would be something that I would pick for this kind of time of year, actually. Hi, Sagar. Coromandel would be a little bit later. Coromandel would be like a little bit like, let's say, October, November. What else would be? I know there's a fragrance, but I can't, it just doesn't come to me. What is it? Sandal Greenlee from Dries Van Noten. What else is there that gives me that? Uh, that's a really good question. I will have to ponder on this. um I know like Maison Martin Margiela has like something about, what is it? Is that if fall vibes or something like that? But that didn't really smell folly to me. The leaves are already starting to turn here. Yeah, they have turned here too. Like I'm just standing here. There are some yellow ones, and I see them in my yard. They've turned, but that doesn't mean much here. We could have like 30 degrees like for a few days still, like till end of September. We have something that's called Indian summer. So like usually, what is it? 40 days before? No, it always happens in September. I don't know. There's something about the 40 days. And that's just one kind of like a few days of very oddly high temperature in end of summer or like coming fall. Sense for thoughts. My God, 10 ml of Santal Greenery is now empty, and I cannot get myself to pay 285 for a full bottle, but I will have to. Why didn't I buy a full bottle before? Yes, I know, it's ridiculous. I was just getting a phone call. Mitra, I have to buy a decanter of Coromandel from you. Yes, yeah.